Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Kannada for Kids. I am back with my next video today. Today I have chosen class 5 textbook, Tili Kannada textbook. So I have not done class 5 so far because I never received any requests for that class. But today I have chosen one random lesson from it. Let's go to the lesson. Before going on to the lesson, I want to share a few things with you. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet subscribed to, because it will help you get all the notifications whenever I upload any new videos. Please subscribe and support, and also please share your feedback. How are you feeling about the videos? Do you want any changes? Do let me know. Please also mention the class and lesson names that you want me to cover in my videos. That will help me prepare for the lessons. This is it, and let me move on to the lesson now. The lesson I have chosen today is Nari-Dhraakshi-Tomato. Okay, so in the beginning, let's see the little bit about the writer. Who is the writer? The writer is M.G. Nagaraj Rao. He is the writer of this story. Okay, so let's see a little bit about the writer. Okay. ಶ್ರೀ ಎಂ ಜಿ ನಾಗರಾಜರಾವ್ ಅವರು ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳ ಅಚ್ಚುಮೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಉಪಾಧ್ಯಾಯರು. ಸೊ ಎಂ ಜಿ ನಾಗರಾಜ್ ರಾವ್ is actually a teacher. ಉಪಾಧ್ಯಾಯರು is a teacher. He is a favorite among the students. ಅಚ್ಚುಮೆಚ್ಚು is favorite. He is a favorite teacher among the students. ಇವರು ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಬುದ್ಧಿಗೆ ಚುರುಕು, ಮನಸ್ಸಿಗೆ ಆನಂದ ನೀಡುವ ಹಲವಾರು ಕಥೆಗಳನ್ನು ಬರೆದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. So he has written many stories that stimulates children's mind and also gives happiness to the children. His stories are like that. ಪ್ರಸ್ತುತ ನರಿ-ದ್ರಾಕ್ಷಿ-ಟೊಮ್ಯಾಟೊ ಕಥೆಯನ್ನು ಅವರ ಚಿಕ್ಕ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಕಥೆಗಳು ಪುಸ್ತಕದಿಂದ ಆರಿಸಲಾಗಿದೆ. So the present story, Nari-Dhraakshi-Tomato story, has been chosen from his book called ಚಿಕ್ಕ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಕಥೆಗಳು. So this is a story from that book. This is it about the writer. Let's now move on to the story. This is actually a story about, if you must have guessed it right, it's a fox and grapes. Nari is fox, Dhrakshi is grapes. Now it's a fox and grape story, we all know, but it is there with a twist. There is also tomato in it. So where is the tomato coming from? Let's see, and where this tomato fits into the fox and grapes story. Okay, let's begin. ಒಂದು ದಿನ ಶಾಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಗುರುಗಳು ರಾಮುವನ್ನು ಕೇಳಿದರು. So one day at the school, ಶಾಲೆ, school, the teacher, ಗುರುಗಳು, asked Ramu. What did he ask? ನಿನಗೆ ನರಿ-ದ್ರಾಕ್ಷಿ ಕತೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾ? Do you know the story of fox and grapes? Kate is story. Do you know that story? He asked. So for that, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ರಾಮು, ಅದೇ ಒಂದು ನರಿ ಕೈಗೆಟುಕದ ದ್ರಾಕ್ಷಿಯನ್ನು ಹುಳಿ ಎಂದು ಹೀಯಾಳಿಸಿದ ಕಥೆಯಲ್ಲವಾ, ಉತ್ತರಿಸಿದ. So he is asking, oh, is that the story that where the fox sees the grapes and it is not reachable to him? Kaigetukada, unreachable. It's not reachable to him. And what does he say? He says the grapes is sour. It is sour. He makes fun of it. Is that the story you're talking about? He asks. So for that, ಗುರುಗಳು, ಹೌದು, ಅದೇ ಕತೆ, ನೀನು ಹೇಗೆ ಹೇಳುತ್ತೀಯೋ ಹೇಳು ಎಂದರು. So the teacher said, yes, that is the story. You tell me the story. You let me see how you will tell the story, he said. ರಾಮು ಕತೆ ಹೇಳಲು ಪ್ರಾರಂಭಿಸಿದ. Now Ramu started to tell the story. ಪ್ರಾರಂಭಿಸಿದ is started. ಹಸಿದಿದ್ದ ಒಂದು ನರಿ ಆಹಾರವನ್ನು ಹುಡುಕುತ್ತಾ ಒಂದು ತೋಟಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಯಿತು. Now Ramu is narrating the story. He is saying, there was a hungry fox. Hasididda is hungry. Hungry fox that went to a garden, tota, in search of food, ahara. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ದ್ರಾಕ್ಷಿಯನ್ನು ಬೆಳೆದಿದ್ದರು. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಗ್ರೋನ್ ದೇರ್? ಬೆಳೆದಿದ್ದರು ದ್ರಾಕ್ಷಿ. ಗ್ರೇಪ್ಸ್ ವಾಸ್ ಗ್ರೋನ್ ಇನ್ ದಟ್ ಗಾರ್ಡನ್. ದ್ರಾಕ್ಷಿ ಬಳ್ಳಿಗಳನ್ನು ಬಿದಿರುಗಳ ಹಂದರಗಳ ಮೇಲೆ ಹಬ್ಬಿಸಿದ್ದರು. ಸೊ ದೀಸ್ ಗ್ರೇಪ್ ವೈನ್ಸ್, ದ್ರಾಕ್ಷಿ ಬಳ್ಳಿ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಗ್ರೇಪ್ ವೈನ್ಸ್, ದೇ ವರ್ ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಡ್, ಹಬ್ಬಿಸಿದ್ದರು. ವೇರ್ ವರ್ ದೇ ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಡ್? ಆನ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಬೂ ಪ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್, ಬ್ಯಾಂಬೂ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಡಲ್. ದೇ ವರ್ ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಡ್ ಅಕ್ರಾಸ್ ದ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಡಲ್. ಬಳ್ಳಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ರಸವತ್ತಾದ ಬಿಳಿ ದ್ರಾಕ್ಷಿಗಳು ಗೊಂಚಲು ಗೊಂಚಲುಗಳಾಗಿ ನೇತು ಬಿದ್ದಿದ್ದವು. ಸೊ in the branches, the grapes were hanging, ನೇತು ಬಿದ್ದಿದ್ದವು. hanging in what? Bunches, ಗೊಂಚಲು ಗೊಂಚಲುಗಳಾಗಿ. they were hanging in bunches. ಅವುಗಳನ್ನು ಕಂಡು ನರಿಯ ಬಾಯಲ್ಲಿ ನೀರೂರಿತು. ಸೊ as soon as the fox saw them, his mouth started watering. That's what happens when we see our favorite delicious food in front of us, right? So that is what happened to the fox also. His mouth started watering. ಅವನ್ನು ತಿನ್ನುವ ಬಯಕೆ ಮೂಡಿತು. ಸೊ he wished to desire. ಬಯಕೆ means wish, desire. He wanted to eat the grapes. ಆದರೆ ಯಾವ ಗೊಂಚಲು ಬಾಯಿಗೆ ಎಟಕುತ್ತಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. but he was ಎಟಕುತ್ತಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ, unable to reach any of the bunch. ನರಿ ನೆಗೆದು ನೆಗೆದು ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಪಟ್ಟಿತು. the fox was jumping. ನೆಗೆದು is jumping and trying a lot. ಆದರೂ ಪ್ರಯೋಜನವಾಗಲಿಲ್ಲ. but then it was of no use. ಪ್ರಯೋಜನ is use. ಪ್ರಯೋಜನವಾಗಲಿಲ್ಲ. it was of no use. ಕೊನೆಯದಾಗಿ ದೂರದಿಂದ ಓಡಿ ಬಂದು ಹಾರುವ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡಿತು. ಸೊ at last, ಕೊನೆಯದಾಗಿ, at last, he gave a last try. What did the fox do? He ran from far. He ran from a distance and tried to jump. ಹಾರುವ is jump. ಆದರೂ ಅದು ವ್ಯರ್ಥವಾಯಿತು. even that was wasted. that effort, that try also did not work out. it was in vain. ವ್ಯರ್ಥ means waste, in vain. ನರಿ ನಿರಾಸೆಯಿಂದ ಹೊರಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂತು. now the fox is disappointed. ನಿರಾಸೆ is disappointed and he came out of the garden. ಹೆಜ್ಜೆ ಹಾಕುತ್ತಾ ಹಾಕುತ್ತಾ ಅದು ಹೀಗೆ ಯೋಚಿಸಿತು. now he is walking out of the garden with heavy steps. ಹೆಜ್ಜೆ is steps and he is thinking to himself. what is he thinking? ಈ ದ್ರಾಕ್ಷಿಗಳು ಹುಳಿ ಇರುತ್ತವೆ. ಇವನ್ನು ತಿಂದರೆ ನಾಲಿಗೆ ಕೆಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ these grapes are very sour. if I eat them, my tongue, ನಾಲಿಗೆ, will be spoilt. ಕೆಡುತ್ತೆ. my tongue will be spoilt. ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಹೊಟ್ಟೆಯೊಳಗೆ ಹೋದರೆ ರೋಗವೂ ಬರುತ್ತದೆ. if that grapes gets into my tummy, into my stomach, ಹೊಟ್ಟೆ, I will fall sick. ರೋಗ is illness, falling sick. so I will fall sick if I eat these grapes. ಈ ಹಣ್ಣುಗಳು ಕೈಗೆ ಎಟುಕದೆ ಹೋದದ್ದು ಒಳ್ಳೆಯದೇ ಆಯಿತು. so he said, it's good, ಒಳ್ಳೆಯದು, it's good that these grapes did not reach me. I could not reach these grapes. it's good I did not eat them. ಆದರೆ ಆ ದ್ರಾಕ್ಷಿಗಳು ನಿಜಕ್ಕೂ ರುಚಿಕರವಾಗಿದ್ದವು. this is what the fox thought. but in reality, ನಿಜಕ್ಕೂ, really, the grapes was very tasty, ರುಚಿಕರ, ಪುಷ್ಟಿಕರವಾಗಿದ್ದವು. they were also very healthy. but since the fox could not reach it, that the fox just said to himself that these grapes are not fit enough to be eaten. ಈ ಕಥೆಯನ್ನು ಕೇಳಿಯೇ ಎಟುಕದ ದ್ರಾಕ್ಷಿ ಹುಳಿ ಎಂಬ ಗಾದೆ ಹುಟ್ಟುಕೊಂಡಿದೆ ಅನಿಸುತ್ತದೆ. So the Ramu is quoting a proverb here. Gade is proverb, a saying here. What is the proverb? Etukada drakshi huli. So the drakshi, the grapes which was not reachable is sar. So that means, it actually means something that we don't get, something that we can't get. We assume that it is not good, right? That is what the fox also did. So that is the story Ramu narrated. ಸೊ ಗುರುಗಳು ರಾಮುವಿನ ಬೆನ್ನು ತಟ್ಟಿ ಹೌದು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ಎಂದು ಹೊಗಳಿದರು. Now the teacher is happy with Ramu's narration, story narration. So he patted on his back and said, yes, you told the story very well. And he praised, ಹೊಗಳಿದರು, he praised Ramu. ಆಗ ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿನಿ ರೀಟಾ ಎದ್ದು ನಿಂತು ಕೇಳಿದಳು. Now there is another student. Vidyarthini is also student. Vidyarthi is also student. Female gender of Vidyarthi is Vidyarthini. Okay. That girl, a girl by name Rita, she got up and she asked, ಗುರುಗಳೇ, ನರಿ ಹಸಿದಿತ್ತು ಎಂದು ಹೇಳಿದಿರಿ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಹೊಟ್ಟೆಪಾಡಿಗೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡಿತು? So she is asking the teachers. She is thinking now. She says, teacher, you said the fox was hungry, right? So what did the fox do later to fill his stomach? It did not eat the grapes. Then what else did the fox do? ಗುರುಗಳು ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳನ್ನು ಪ್ರೋತ್ಸಾಹಿಸುತ್ತಾ ನುಡಿದರು. The teacher was very happy with the student's reaction. So he encouragingly, ಪ್ರೋತ್ಸಾಹಿಸುತ್ತಾ, spoke to the students. What did he speak? ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿ. So what did the teacher say? He said, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿರಿ. ಅದು ಏನು ಮಾಡಿರಬಹುದು? ಊಹಿಸಿ ಹೇಳಿರಿ. So now you all give it a thought. ಯೋಚನೆ is think. You all think and tell me what the fox would have done. What would be the next step? What he would have done to fill his stomach? ಊಹಿಸಿ ಹೇಳಿರಿ. You guess. You do your guesswork and tell me. ಆಗ ರೀಟಾ ವಿಚಾರ ಮಾಡಿ ಹೇಳಿದಳು. Then Rita, she thought for a while. ವಿಚಾರ ಮಾಡಿ is think. She thought and then she told. ಆ ನರಿ ಹಸಿದಿತ್ತು. That fox was hungry. ಕಣ್ಣಿಗೆ ಕಾಣುವ ದ್ರಾಕ್ಷಿ ಎಟುಕಲಿಲ್ಲ. He could not reach the grapes that he saw. ಅಂದ ಮೇಲೆ ಅದು ಕೈಗೆ ಎಟಕುವ ಹಣ್ಣನ್ನೇ ತಿಂದಿರಬೇಕು. So that means it must have eaten some fruit that was reachable to it. That was easily reachable. ಕೈಗೆ ಎಟಕುವ, easily reachable. ಅಂತ ಹಣ್ಣು ಯಾವುದಿರಬಹುದು? Which fruit she is thinking? Which fruit it must have eaten? ಯಾವುದಾದರೂ ಆಗಬಹುದು. Any fruit maybe. And she thought and suddenly she said, tomato ಆಗಬಹುದು. She thought of tomato. Tomato is a plant that grows on the ground, right? So it is not a very big plant. It is easily reachable. ನರಿ ಮುಂದೆ ಹೋಯಿತು. So the fox walked a little further. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಟೊಮ್ಯಾಟೊ ಗಿಡಗಳು ಕಾಣಿಸಿದವು. So the fox saw ಟೊಮ್ಯಾಟೊ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್, ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್. ಅವುಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಕಡೆ ಹಣ್ಣುಗಳಿದ್ದವು. So this tomato plant was not like the grapevines. The grapevines had bunches of grapes everywhere, right? But these tomato plants had fruits, tomatoes only here and there. ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಕಡೆ, here and there. ಕೆಲವು ಪೂರ್ತಿ ಹಣ್ಣಾಗಿದ್ದರೆ ಕೆಲವು ಅರ್ಧ ಹಣ್ಣು. So how were the tomato fruits? Tomato like. Few were fully ripe. ಪೂರ್ತಿ is fully. ಹಣ್ಣು is ripe. Few tomatoes were fully ripe. Few were half ripe. ಅರ್ಧ, half ripe. and few were not ripe at all. Kai, not ripe at all. And few were overripe and rotten. Kalitu koleta means overripe, too much of ripe, and few were rotten also. ಕಳಿತು ಕೊಳೆತ ಹಣ್ಣುಗಳೂ ಇದ್ದವು, ಅವು ನರಿಗೆ ಎಟಕುತ್ತಿದ್ದವು. ಬಟ್ ದೀಸ್ ಫ್ರೂಟ್ಸ್ ವರ್ ಈಸಿಲಿ ರೀಚಬಲ್ ಟು ದ ಫಾಕ್ಸ್. ನರಿ ಅವನ್ನು ಹೊಟ್ಟೆ ತುಂಬ ತಿಂದು ತೇಗಿತು. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಡಿಡ್ ದ ಫಾಕ್ಸ್ ಡೂ? ದ ಫಾಕ್ಸ್ ಏಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಸ್ಟಮಕ್ ಫುಲ್. ತಿಂದು ತೇಗಿತು, ಈಟ್ ಸ್ಟಮಕ್ ಫುಲ್. ಕೊಳೆತ ಹಣ್ಣನ್ನು ಬಿಡಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಇಟ್ ಡಿಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಈವನ್ ಲೀವ್ ದ ರಾಟನ್ ಫ್ರೂಟ್ಸ್. It ate everything. He was so hungry, right? So he ate all tomatoes that was there. ಗುರುಗಳು ಪ್ರಶ್ನಿಸಿದರು. ಆಗ ನರಿ ಏನಂದುಕೊಂಡಿರಬಹುದು? So now the teacher is trying to make children think. He is asking, then what the fox might have thought. ರಾಮು says, ರಾಮು ಹೇಳಿದ, ಆಗ ಅದು, ಈ ಹಣ್ಣುಗಳು ಅಮೃತ ಇದ್ದ ಹಾಗೆ ಇವೆ. ಸೊ ದ ಫಾಕ್ಸ್ might have told to himself that these fruits are very tasty, very divine. Amrita is divine, right? Amrita. These fruits are very tasty. ಇವು ಆರೋಗ್ಯಕ್ಕೂ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯವು. These are very healthy also. ಸೊ ಎಂದುಕೊಂಡಿರಬಹುದು. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ದ ಫಾಕ್ಸ್ ಮೈಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಥಾಟ್. ಗುರುಗಳು ಮೆಚ್ಚಿಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತಾ ಹೇಳಿದರು. ದ ಟೀಚರ್ ವಾಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಅಪ್ರಿಷಿಯೇಟಿವ್. ಮೆಚ್ಚಿಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತಾ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಅಪ್ರಿಷಿಯೇಟಿವ್. ಹಿ ವಾಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ವಿತ್ ರಾಮುಸ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್. ಹೌದು, ನಿನ್ನ ಕಲ್ಪನೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ. ಕಲ್ಪನೆ ಇಸ್ ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನೇಷನ್. ಎಸ್, ಯೋರ್ ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನೇಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ನೈಸ್. ಕೈಗೆ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ದೇ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯದು. ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ವಿ ಗೆಟ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಗುಡ್. ಕನ್ನಡಿಯೊಳಗಿನ ಗಂಟೆಗಿಂತ ಕೈಯೊಳಗಿನ ದಂಟೆ ಮೇಲು. ದಿಸ್ is again a reference to a proverb, a saying, which there is an equivalent, there is a similar proverb in English. One bird in the hand is better than two in the bush. That means a hunter has, for example, a hunter has gone for hunting and he caught a bird. Okay, so he has a bird in his hand and he sees that the two more birds are hiding behind a bush. So if he has to catch those two birds from the bush, he has to leave the one in his hand and catch those two, right? So the hunter, what he does, he just leaves the one in his hand and goes to catch the other two. What happens? Those two also fly away. And whatever he had in hand, that bird also flew away. So he lost all of them, right? So if he was wise, he would have thought, okay, I already have one in hand, that is enough for me. Let me not be greedy and go for the other two. So that is what the meaning of that saying is. This proverb also, if you already have something, you be happy, satisfied with it. Another saying, ಪಾಲಿಗೆ ಬಂದದ್ದೇ ಪಂಚಾಮೃತ. ಪಂಚಾಮೃತ is a prasadam you get in the temple, right? So this whatever we get for ourselves, whatever God gives to us, that itself we have to receive it as if it is the God gift. It's a panchamritam, it's a prasadam from God. So be happy with what you get is the meaning of these two proverbs. So this is what the teacher is explaining. ಎಂದು ಸ್ವೀಕರಿಸಿ ಅಷ್ಟರಲ್ಲಿಯೇ ತೃಪ್ತಿ ಪಡುವುದರಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾಣತನವಿದೆ ಎಂದು ಕಥೆಯ ನೀತಿಯನ್ನು ನಿರೂಪಿಸಬಹುದು. ಸೊ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ, ದ ಮಾರಲ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ, ನೀತಿ ನಿರೂಪಿಸಬಹುದು is it can be demonstrated, it can be understood. What can be understood from the story? That we have to be satisfied, trupti, satisfied with whatever we receive, whatever we get. Swikarisu is receive. So if once we are satisfied. That is what is cleverness. Chanatana, cleverness. That is what the Nari, the fox, also did, right? So we should be happy with whatever we have. ಕತೆಗಳನ್ನು ಹೊರನೋಟಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾಣುವಂತೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಗ್ರಹಿಸಿದರೆ ಸಾಲದು. ಸೊ ದ ಸ್ಟೋರೀಸ್ ಶುಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟುಡ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಬೈ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಫ್ರೇಮ್ವರ್ಕ್, ಔಟರ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್, ಔಟರ್ ಲುಕ್, ಹೊರನೋಟ. ಗ್ರಹಿಸಿದರೆ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟುಡ್. ಇಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಅವುಗಳ ಹೂರಣವನ್ನು ಅಂದರೆ ಒಳಸತ್ಯವನ್ನು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳಬೇಕು. ಪೂರಣ ಈಸ್ ಇನ್ನರ್ ಥಿಂಗ್. ಒಳಸತ್ಯ is inner meaning. When we read a story, we should just not read the story for an entertainment, for just understanding the outer framework. We should try to understand the moral, what is the inner meaning in the story. ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಕೇಳಿದ ಕಥೆಯನ್ನು ವಿಸ್ತರಿಸುವ ಹಾಗೂ ಅಂಥವೇ ಕಥೆಗಳನ್ನು ಕಟ್ಟುವ ಕಲ್ಪನಾ ಶಕ್ತಿಯನ್ನು ಬೆಳೆಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳಬೇಕು. ಸೊ after understanding the inner meaning, not only that, it's also important that when we listen to a story, we try to expand the story. Okay, we try to think what happens later. Okay, that is the expansion. Vistarisu is expansion. And also build similar stories using our imagination. Kalpana Shakti is imagination. Our imagination has no bounds, right? It is wild. You can imagine anything you want. So using that is a power of the imagination. So using our imagination, we have to build stories, similar stories. ಅಂತಹ ಶಕ್ತಿಯನ್ನು ಬೆಳೆಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಸೊ ವೆನೆವರ್ ವಿ ರೀಡ್ ಅ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ, ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಡೂ ದೀಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಬುದ್ಧಿ ವಿಕಾಸಗೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಡೂ ದೀಸ್, ಯೋರ್ ಬ್ರೈನ್, ಯೋರ್ ನಾಲೆಡ್ಜ್, ಬುದ್ಧಿ ಇಸ್ ನಾಲೆಡ್ಜ್ ವಿಲ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್. ವಿಕಾಸಗೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತದೆ is develop. So the teacher is explaining the importance of what we have to do with the story, how you can expand your imagination and how you can be more creative with it. ರೀಟಾ ಎದ್ದು ನಿಂತು ಕೇಳಿದಳು. Now Rita got up. She asks. She is a very creative girl, right? So she asks, ಗುರುಗಳೇ, ಈಗ ಹೇಳಿದ ಕತೆ ನಾವು ಕೇಳಿದ ಕಥೆಯನ್ನು ವಿಸ್ತರಿಸಿದ ಹಾಗೆ ಆಯಿತಲ್ಲವೇ? So she says, now we expanded the story, isn't it? The fox story was just still there, and now we expanded the story like how you told. ಇನ್ನು ಅಂಥದೇ ಕಥೆಯನ್ನು ಕಟ್ಟುವ ರೀತಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಉದಾಹರಣೆ ಕೊಡಿರಿ. So she is saying, now you give us an example where we can build a similar story. The teacher said two things. One is expanding the story, another is building a similar story. So she said, you have given us an example of how we can expand the story using the fox and grape story. Now you tell us an example where we can build a similar story. ಆಗ ಗುರುಗಳು ಹೇಳಿದರು, ನಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಿರುವ ಒಂದು ಕತೆ, ಅದು ಯಾವುದಾದರೂ ಆಗಬಹುದು, ಹೇಳು. ಸೊ ಯು ಟೆಲ್ ಅಸ್ ಅ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ ದಟ್ ವಿ ಆಲ್ ಆರ್ ಫೆಮಿಲಿಯರ್ ವಿತ್. ನಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಿರುವ, ವಿ ಆಲ್ ಆರ್ ಫೆಮಿಲಿಯರ್ ವಿತ್ ಅ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ, ಅ ಫೆಮಿಲಿಯರ್ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ. ಯು ಟೆಲ್ ಅಸ್ ಅ ಫೆಮಿಲಿಯರ್ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ, he said. ರೀಟಾ ಹೇಳಿದಳು, ಆಮೆ ಮೊಲದ ಕತೆ ಆಗಬಹುದು. ಆಮೆ ಮೊಲ, tortoise and hare. Hare and tortoise is a very common and familiar story, isn't it? So she is thinking of that story now. ಮೊಲ ವೇಗವಾಗಿ ಓಡುವ ಪ್ರಾಣಿ. A rabbit is an animal that runs very fast. ವೇಗ is fast. ಆಮೆ ನಿಧಾನವಾಗಿ ಚಲಿಸುವ ಪ್ರಾಣಿ. ಆಮೆ, a tortoise is an animal that moves moves very slowly. ಅವುಗಳ ನಡುವೆ ಓಟದ ಸ್ಪರ್ಧೆ ಏರ್ಪಟ್ಟಾಗ ಸಹಜವಾಗಿ ಮೊಲವೇ ಗೆಲ್ಲಬೇಕು. ಇಫ್ there is a running race that happens between them, then naturally who will win? The rabbit has to win. ಆದರೆ ಕಥೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಆಮೆ ಗೆಲ್ಲುತ್ತದೆ. But what happens in that story? The tortoise wins, isn't it? ಅದೇ ವಿಶೇಷ. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಸ್ಪೆಷಾಲಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ದಟ್ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ. ವಿಶೇಷ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಪೆಷಲ್. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಸ್ಪೆಷಲ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದಟ್ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ. ನಾನು ಕಲ್ಪಿಸಿಕೊಂಡ ಕತೆ ಹೀಗಿದೆ. ನಾವು ಶಿ ಈಸ್ ಟ್ರೈಂಗ್ ಟು ಟೆಲ್ ಅ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಹರ್ ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನೇಷನ್, ಅ ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಹರ್ ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನೇಷನ್. ಓಕೆ. ಕಾಡಿನಲ್ಲಿ ವೇಗವಾಗಿ ಓಡುವ ಪ್ರಾಣಿ ಎಂದರೆ, so there is an animal that runs very fast in the forest, which is that deer, ಜಿಂಕೆ. ನಿಧಾನವಾಗಿ ಚಲಿಸುವ ಪ್ರಾಣಿ ಎಂದರೆ ಎಲಿಫೆಂಟ್, ಆನೆ. Animal that moves very slow is ಆನೆ, ಎಲಿಫೆಂಟ್. ಆನೆಯ ನಡಿಗೆ ಮಂದ. The elephant walk, ನಡಿಗೆ is walk. Manda is slow. The elephant walks very slowly. ಗಜಗಮನ ಎನ್ನುತ್ತೇವಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಎಲಿಫೆಂಟ್ ವಾಕ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್? ಗಜಗಮನ. ಗಜ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಎಲಿಫೆಂಟ್. ಗಜಗಮನ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ದ ವಾಕ್ ಆಫ್ ಎನ್ ಎಲಿಫೆಂಟ್. ಒಮ್ಮೆ ಅವುಗಳ, ಇಫ್ somebody is walking very slowly, no, they say, why are you walking like an elephant? They say her walk is like a ಗಜಗಮನ. ಸೊ ಒಮ್ಮೆ ಅವುಗಳ ನಡುವೆ ಓಟದ ಸ್ಪರ್ಧೆ ನಡೆದರೆ ಹೇಗಿರಬಹುದು ಎನ್ನುವುದೇ ನನ್ನ ಕತೆ. ಸೊ ಶಿ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟೇಕನ್ ದ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ ಲೈನ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಹೇರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಟಾರ್ಟಾಯ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ. That is the storyline she has taken, but she has built a different story with her imagination. So she is telling, if there is a running race between this jinke, deer and aane, elephant, what happens? That is my story. ಒಂದು ಸಲ ಅವುಗಳಿಗೆ ಯಾವುದೋ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕೆ ಓಟದ ಸ್ಪರ್ಧೆ ಏರ್ಪಟ್ಟಿತು ಎಂದು ಇಟ್ಟುಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ಸೊ ಶಿ ಸೇಸ್, ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನ್ ಎಂದು ಇಟ್ಟುಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನ್ ದಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಸಮ್ ರೀಸನ್, ಯಾವುದೋ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕೆ, ದೇರ್ ವಾಸ್ ಅ running race that was arranged, that happened between them, between the elephant and the deer. ಮಾರ್ಗ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಹಸಿರು ಹುಲ್ಲು ಸೊಂಪಾಗಿ ಬೆಳೆದಿರುವುದು ಕಂಡಿತು. ಸೊ ಸಾರಿ, ಐ ಮಿಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಲೈನ್. ಓಟದ ಸ್ಪರ್ಧೆ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭವಾಯಿತು. ಸೊ ದ ರನ್ನಿಂಗ್ ರೇಸ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟೆಡ್. ಜಿಂಕೆ ಲೀಲಾಜಾಲವಾಗಿ ಓಡಿತು. The deer was running with ease, easily. It was an expert. The deer was an expert in running, right? So the deer was running very easily. ಮಾರ್ಗ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಹಸಿರು ಹುಲ್ಲು ಸೊಂಪಾಗಿ ಬೆಳೆದಿರುವುದನ್ನು ಕಂಡಿತು. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಡಿಯರ್ ಸಿ? The deer saw on the way, ಮಾರ್ಗ ಮಧ್ಯೆ, on the way, a very good lush green grass. ಹಸಿರು ಹುಲ್ಲು. ಹಸಿರು is green, ಹುಲ್ಲು is grass. ಸೊಂಪಾಗಿ ಬೆಳೆದಿರುವುದು is lush, grown very well. The grass that is grown very very well. ಹಸಿವಿಲ್ಲದಿದ್ದರೂ ಅದನ್ನು ಸವಿಯಬೇಕೆಂಬ ಚಪಲ ಹುಟ್ಟಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿಯೇ ನಿಂತು ಆನಂದವಾಗಿ ತಿನ್ನುವುದಕ್ಕೆ ತೊಡಗಿತು. This deer was not hungry like that fox. ಹಸಿವಿಲ್ಲ. This was not hungry like that fox. But the deer had a desire, chapala, just a wish to eat the grass. So the deer stopped there and started eating the grass happily. Anandavagi, happily it started eating the grass. ಆನೆ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ದೂರದಲ್ಲಿತ್ತು. The elephant was walking very slowly. So it saw that the elephant was coming somewhere very far. Dura is far. ಜಿಂಕೆ ತಿನ್ನುವ ರಭಸದಲ್ಲಿ ತನ್ನ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನೇ ಮರೆತು ಬಿಟ್ಟಿತು. ಸೊ ಜಿಂಕೆ, the deer was so much involved in eating. ತಿನ್ನು is eating. The jinke was so involved in eating. Rabasa is involvement with great force, with in lot of involvement. It was eating and it forgot what it was doing, what it was actually doing. Forgot, ಮರೆತು ಬಿಟ್ಟಿತು. ಆನೆ ನಿಧಾನವಾಗಿ ಆದರೂ ತನ್ನ ಗುರಿಯತ್ತ ಸಾಗಿತು. That elephant slowly but steadily was walking towards its target, ಗುರಿ. ಮಾರ್ಗ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಅದು ಸೊಂಪಾಗಿ ಬೆಳೆದ ಹುಲ್ಲನ್ನು ಕಂಡಿತು. ದ ಎಲಿಫೆಂಟ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಸಾ ದಿಸ್ ಲಶ್ ಗ್ರೀನ್ ಗ್ರಾಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹುಲ್ಲು ತಿನ್ನಬೇಕೆನಿಸಿದರೂ ಅದು ಚಪಲಕ್ಕೆ ಬಲಿಯಾಗಲಿಲ್ಲ. Even the elephant had the temptation to eat the grass, but it did not give in to the temptation. It did not stop there like how the deer stopped. So it did not give in, but ಆನೆ ನಿಧಾನವಾಗಿ ನಡೆದರೂ ಗುರಿಯನ್ನು ಮುಟ್ಟಿಯೇ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿತು. ಬಟ್ continued its walk. Though it was walking very slowly, it reached the goal. ಜಿಂಕೆಗೆ ಸೋಲು, ಆನೆಗೆ ಗೆಲುವು. The deer was still busy eating the grass. By then the elephant had reached the target and it had won. The deer is lost, defeated, and solu is defeat. The elephant has won. Okay, so this is the story that Rita narrates. So this is similar to the story of Hare and Tortoise, right? So she has taken the storyline from there and she has created her own story with her own moral. What is the moral? ಕಥೆಯನ್ನು ಕೇಳಿ ಗುರುಗಳು ಸಂತೋಷಪಟ್ಟರು. ಸೊ ದ ಟೀಚರ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ವೆರಿ ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ, ಸಂತೋಷ, ಲಿಸನಿಂಗ್ ಟು ದ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ. ರೀಟಾಳ ಬೆನ್ನು ತಟ್ಟಿ ಪ್ರೋತ್ಸಾಹಿಸಿದರು. ಸೊ he patted her back and he encouragingly told her, ರಾಮು, ನೀನು ಈಗ ಇದರ ನೀತಿಯನ್ನು ಹೇಳುತ್ತೀಯಾ? So now he is asking Ramu to tell about this story's moral. Niti is moral. Ramu, will you tell me the moral of the story? ಎಂದು ಕೇಳಿದರು. ರಾಮು ಎದ್ದು ನಿಂತು ಹೇಳಿದ. Now Ramu got up and said, ನಾವು ಯಾವುದೇ ಕೆಲಸಕ್ಕೆ ತೊಡಗಿಕೊಂಡಾಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಪೂರ್ಣ ಧ್ಯಾನ ಧ್ಯಾಸ ನಮ್ಮ ಗುರಿಯನ್ನು ಸಾಧಿಸುವ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಇರಬೇಕು. So when we start any work, when we are involved in any work, ಕೆಲಸಕ್ಕೆ ತೊಡಗಿದಾಗ, start any work, our attention and concentration should be completely towards the goal, achieving the goal. ಸಾಧಿಸುವ is achieve. Our focus should be completely towards the goal. ಬೇರೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಆಕರ್ಷಣೆಗೆ ಒಳಗಾಗಬಾರದು. So we should not give in to any attraction. There will be a lot of things that will tempt us, that will attract us to deviate from our goal. But we should not get attracted to it. ಗುರುಗಳು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ಎಂದರು. So the teacher said, yes, well said, he said. ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ಚಪ್ಪಾಳೆ ತಟ್ಟಿದರು. All the students clapped their hands. ಚಪ್ಪಾಳೆ is clapping. ಒಬ್ಬ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿ ಹುಮ್ಮಸ್ಸಿನಿಂದ ಹೇಳಿದ. One student stood up and very with great enthusiasm. ಹುಮ್ಮಸ್ಸು is enthusiasm. He said, ಗುರುಗಳೇ, ನೀವು ದಿನಾ ಇಂಥ ಕಥೆಗಳನ್ನು ಹೇಳಿ ನಮಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಇಷ್ಟವಾಗುತ್ತದೆ. So he's saying, sir, you tell us a story like this every day. Dina, every day you tell a story like this. We all like it very much. ತುಂಬಾ ಇಷ್ಟ is we all like it very much. ಗುರುಗಳು ಸಂತೋಷದಿಂದ ನಗುತ್ತಾ ಹೇಳಿದರು. The teacher very happily laughed and said, ನಿಮಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟವಾಗುತ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲ ಎನ್ನುತ್ತೇನೆಯೇ? ಖಂಡಿತ ಹೇಳುತ್ತೇನೆ. ಖಂಡಿತ is for sure. When you say you like something, why will I not tell you? I will tell you for sure. ಪುಟ್ಟ ಪುಟ್ಟ ಕಥೆಗಳನ್ನು ಹೇಳುತ್ತೇನೆ, ದೊಡ್ಡ ಕಥೆಗಳನ್ನು ಹೇಳುತ್ತೇನೆ. I will tell you small stories. ಪುಟ್ಟ is small. And also big stories. ದೊಡ್ಡ is big. ನೀವು ಆ ಕಥೆಗಳನ್ನು ಕೇಳಿ ಅಥವಾ ಓದಿ ಸಂತೋಷ ಪಡುತ್ತೀರಿ. So who is not happy to listen to a story? Everybody likes stories, isn't it? So you all listen to the story or read. Keli is listen, or you can read the story and you will be very happy. ಆದರೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಸಾಲದು, ಅಂತಹ ಇನ್ನಿತರ ಸನ್ನಿವೇಶಗಳನ್ನು ಕಲ್ಪಿಸಿಕೊಂಡು ಕತೆಗಳನ್ನು ವಿಸ್ತರಿಸಿ ಮಾರ್ಪಡಿಸಿ ಸಂತೋಷ ಪಡಬಾರದು. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಎನಫ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಲಿಸನ್ ಆರ್ ರೀಡ್ ಅ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ. ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನ್, ಕಲ್ಪಿಸಿಕೊಂಡು, ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನ್ similar situations. Sannivesha is situations. You have to imagine similar situations and expand the story, or sometimes change. Marpadisu is change the story a little bit and have fun. It's having fun, right? You change a story and have fun. ಇಂತಹ ಕಲ್ಪನೆಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳುವುದರಿಂದ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನಸ್ಸು ವಿಕಾಸಗೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತದೆ. If you use your imagination, your creativity in this, your mind will grow. Okay? ನೀವು ಮನಸ್ಸು is mind. ನೀವು ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಬುದ್ಧಿವಂತರಾಗುತ್ತೀರಿ. You all will be very intelligent. You all will become very intelligent. And Viveki is wise. You all will become very wise also, because you will have your own moral and morals from your own stories, right? So that will make you wise. And also very sajjanaraguttiri, very principled and righteous. You will all will have a very right behavior, principled behavior. ಕತೆಗಳ ಮೂಲಕ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಭಾಷೆಯೂ ಶುದ್ಧವಾಗುತ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ನಾಟ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ದೀಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್, when you read or tell a story, your language, ಭಾಷೆ is language, will also improve. It will be more clear and clean. Your language will improve. ಮತ್ತು ನೀವು ಭಾಷೆಯ ಮೇಲೆ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಹಿಡಿತವನ್ನು ಸಾಧಿಸುತ್ತೀರಿ. So on the language, you will get a good control on the language also. ಆ ವಿದ್ಯಾ ಗಣಪತಿಯು ನಿಮಗೆ ಬುದ್ಧಿ ಸಿದ್ಧಿಗಳನ್ನು ಕರುಣಿಸಲಿ. ಸೊ ಇಸ್ ಬ್ಲೆಸ್ಸಿಂಗ್ is saying, let the God Ganesha, Lord Ganesha, give you buddhi and siddhi. Okay, so this is the end. So you try, you also, what is the moral, what is the takeaway message from this lesson? It's mainly about how important it is for you to expand your creativity, expand your imagination when you read a story, right? And also try to tell stories in Kannada. If you want to get control over the language, improve your language, any language for that matter, you try to tell a story, whether it is a small or big, whichever, whatever simple story it might be, you just try to tell it in Kannada or the language that you want to learn. That will improve your language. Okay, so this is the story. This is the end of the lesson. I hope you understood the lesson. Do let me know your feedback in the comment section. Thank you very much. I'll be back with my next video very soon. Thank you.